I sat on the floor of my room surrounded by old comic books and a few trinkets scattered across the shelves. My eyes fixed on the jar of coins I had carefully saved over the years, the faint clinking sound still echoing in my head from when I had dropped the last quarter in. The room was dimly lit by the soft glow of the evening sun seeping through the curtains, casting long shadows on the wooden floor. I could feel the cool breeze slipping in through a crack in the window. As I stared at the jar, a thought kept swirling in my mind. How can I turn this into more? I was only 11 years old, but I knew that there had to be a way. My mind was constantly racing with numbers and ideas, and it was always the same question. How could I grow what I already had? I had this nagging feeling in my gut, a deep hunger for more, not just more money, but more understanding of how the world worked. Then one day, my father's voice echoed in my head, talking about stocks and investments. The conversations he'd have with clients at his brokerage firm lingered in my thoughts, and I knew it was time to make my first real move. I took that jar of money, marched down to my dad's office, and bought my first 3 shares of City Service preferred stock. I felt a rush of excitement, but also nervousness, like a weight was lifting off my chest as I took that leap. The stock price climbed to $40, and I remember thinking I had outsmarted the world. I sold it, a small profit. But not long after, the stock soared to $200. My heart sank, and for the first time I realized what I had done wrong. I hadn't waited. That moment of regret burned deep inside me, teaching me the importance of patience. That's when I knew that the world of investing wasn't just about making money, it was about understanding it. By the time I was 13, the mornings in Omaha were brisk, and I'd wake up before the sun even kissed the horizon. The world outside was quiet, with only the sound of rustling leaves and the distant hum of the city waking up. I grabbed my bike and made my rounds delivering copies of the Washington Post. My hands were always cold, gripping the handlebars, but I didn't mind. I loved the independence, the steady rhythm of earning. It wasn't just about delivering papers, it was about delivering opportunity. With each paper tossed onto a doorstep, I saved a little more, and soon I had amassed $2,000, a fortune for a teenager. My fingers trembled as I counted it one last time before investing in a 40-acre farm. The land stretched endlessly, the earth rich and fertile, and I could smell the damp soil after a rain. I wasn't just a paperboy anymore, I was a young businessman with a stake in something tangible. It felt real. At 17, I was no longer just playing at business, I was building it. I remember the day my friend and I spotted an old pinball machine sitting in a dusty corner of a shop. Its colors faded, but the potential gleaming through. We pooled our money, bought it for $25, and placed it in a local barber shop. The machine stood tall against the backdrop of clinking scissors and the buzz of conversation. The coins dropped into the machine one after the other, their metallic jingle filling the air with the sweet sound of success. By the time we sold the business, we were both walking on air, having turned that initial investment into $1,200. But through all the excitement and ventures, one thing remained constant: my desire to learn. My rejection from Harvard stung like a slap, but I wasn't deterred. I followed the teachings of my idol Benjamin Graham all the way to Columbia Business School. When I graduated, the world seemed to open up in front of me, as if the horizons were wider than I had ever imagined. And though my path was uncertain at times, the lessons from those early years, patience, persistence, and a relentless pursuit of understanding were what shaped me into the person I would become. Looking back, I realized it wasn't just about the money. It was about the journey, the endless fascination with making every decision count.